Timing is everything. I want to remind you where we were in Mark chapter 11 when Jesus goes and curses that fig tree. Remember, he curses the fig tree, and it does not become a topic of discussion again until they walk back past the fig tree and Peter recognizes that it shriveled up from the ground. That means that when Jesus initially spoke to the fig tree, nothing happened. Because if Jesus had cursed the fig tree and it immediately shriveled up and dried and fell to the ground, when they walked back through, it would have been no reason for Peter to be like, hey, Jesus, look what happened. Meaning that when he spoke it, it looked like nothing happened. Oh, God. Yeah. When he prayed it, when he spoke it, when he declared it, it looked like nothing happened. I want to encourage somebody in here who's been praying about some things, declaring some things, believing God for some things, and when you said it, when you spoke it, you saw no movement. Thank God for the testimonies where God instantly breaks in with healing or deliverance or favor or salvation. But there are some of us who also have the testimony of speaking a thing, declaring a thing, and believing a thing and seeing no movement. This is real life. He speaks to the tree and walks off. Jesus he decides to teach them about faith, it seems, when they have the conversation. But he was already teaching them about faith before they walked back past the tree. At the moment when he spoke to that tree and nothing happened. And he didn't freak out, he didn't get nervous, he didn't be like, hold up, let me try this one more time. Hold up, y'all, just give me a second, one more time. He spoke to the tree and he walked off. Verse 20, now in the morning as they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots. And Peter, now he's remembering, said to him, Rabbi, look, the tree that you spoke to, you cursed, is withered away. Jesus' lesson. I'm reading it again because it's so good. So Jesus answered, have faith in who? Instagram. Have faith in who? Facebook. Have faith in who? ChatGPT. CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, president this, president that. Have faith in God. Celebrity, favorite superstar, favorite athlete, favorite rap. Have faith in who? God. Whoever says to this mountain, be removed and be cast into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes those things which he says will be done, he will have whatsoever he says. Therefore, I say to you, whatsoever things you ask, shout timing. When you pray, believe you receive them, and you will have them. I want to read that again. Therefore, I say unto you, whatsoever things you ask when you pray, believe you receive them, and you will have. I'm going to keep reading it till you get it. Therefore, I say unto you, whatever things you ask, shout timing. When you pray, shout timing. You ask, shout timing. When you pray, shout timing. Believe you receive them and you will have them. One more time. Therefore, I say to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, faith is believing. Timing is connected. And what Jesus teaches them in this scripture through the power of faith is when to believe. With that in mind, therefore, I say to you, whatsoever things you ask, when you pray, believe you receive them. When do you believe you receive it? Not when it shows up. Not when you speak to it and it doesn't move. Faith is believing you received it when you pray. With no evidence that anything shifted, that's faith. No evidence that anything changed. No evidence that any roots were drying up. You know, roots, it said it dried up from the root. Woo! What does that mean? If the tree dried up from the root, that means that something was working underground. It means that it was drying up, but you just couldn't see what was happening. And to the natural mind, they were just looking for the fruit and they were looking for the outside, but something was working underground. Something was working behind the scenes. Something was working in a realm of the unseen. Something was working where you cannot prove it, you cannot see it, you cannot touch it. You just have to believe that when you speak to it and you pray about it, that God is operating and fixing and shifting and adjusting things from the root. Faith is when I believe, I receive, when I pray, right then in that moment. And we grow by faith by believing we receive, believing we receive, believing we receive. Now I'm praying for it. I'm lifting it up to you. God, I believe I receive it right now. There are people in this room all over this place that have things that you have been believing and that you're believing God for. Let me encourage you not to wait until you see it manifest in your life, but believe you receive it right now in prayer. Matter of fact, why don't you just go to praying? Y'all just stand on your feet with me right there.